Hello. Next method is section based splitting. It is somewhat similar to loop peeling. In loop peeling, we separate out single statement, while here we'll separate out group of statement. To understand this, take example. We have outer loop on I, which is going from 1 to n. Inside that we have two loop. Both loop are running on j. First inner loop is going from 1 to n by 2. Inside that you have statement S1, which calculates b of j comma I is equal to a of j comma I, and second inner loop, which is going from 1 to n, is also having single statement S2, which calculates a of j comma I plus 1 by using b of j comma I. So here the upper bound of inner loop are very important. First loop is having upper bound n by 2. Second loop is having upper bound n. Now here if you see dependence are there on outer loop I. So S1 is having dependence to S2 because of variable B. Same variable B is used in S2, so it is having loop independent dependence, and this is on loop I. So outer loop cannot be executed in parallel. So outer loop cannot be vectorized because of B. Now another dependence is due to variable A, and this dependence is not loop independent dependence. It is carried over by a distance of 1 on outer loop I. Okay, so due to this you cannot vectorize outer loop because it is having a recurrence. S1 depends on S2 and S2 depends on S1. But if you carefully see the upper bound of two inner loop, then first inner loop is executing only n by 2 times. Okay, so jth value will go from 1 to n by 2. In second loop, j value is going from 1 to n. So it means that all statement of second loop are not dependent on statement of first loop. Only first n by 2 statement of second loop are dependent on the previous loop of j, while the remaining iteration of second inner loop, that is from n by 2 plus 1 to n, are not having any dependence. Okay, so we'll use this to maximize the vectorization. Okay, so we can partition the second inner loop into two parts as given on right hand side. If you see right hand side, then the second inner loop, which was from 1 to n, is partitioned into two parts. First part will go from 1 to n by 2, and second part will go from n by 2 plus 1 to n. Okay, and inside that same statements are there, but we have assigned one more number, that is S3. So now we have three inner loop, S1, S2, S3 inside the I. Now here if you see that you have dependence between S1 and S2, but S3 is dependence free. S3 is not having dependence on any of the statement. So here you can apply loop distribution now. So this was the previous program. S3 now is independent of S1 and S2. So you can apply loop distribution for S3, and since it is not having dependence on S1 and S2, you can bring it before S1 and S2. So after applying loop distribution and after moving S3 before S1 and S2, you will get the program which is given on right hand side. So outer loop is going from 1 to n, inner loop is going from n by 2 plus 1 to n. Inside that statement, this is completely dependence free. So you can apply vectorization on both level, inner loop as well as outer loop. So this first loop can be completely vectorized. In second loop, you have dependence on outer loop I. So outer loop I cannot be vectorized, but inner loop can be vectorized. So if you see inner loop, first S1, it is not having any dependence within the inner loop, so it can be vectorized. Second inner loop is also not having any dependence within that, so that can also be vectorized. But outer loop here cannot be vectorized. So this first loop can be completely vectorized, and this second loop here only inner loop can be vectorized. So if you vectorize this, then first is completely vectorized. This is the vectorized instruction. And in second loop, outer loop is to be executed in sequence, while the inner loop can be vectorized.